Welcome to our special program at FCB TV. Bayern Munich against Olympique Lyon. The Champions League semi-final takes place tomorrow evening in the Allianz Arena in Munich. As you might know, we had a similar program prior to the Champions League quarter-final against Manchester United. That was the live training of Manchester United. Today, we're at Munich's Sebener Street, and we're going to bring you some pictures from Bayern Munich's final training session prior to the big match tomorrow in the Allianz Arena. We are here, that is a moderator and some studio guests, and I'd like to welcome my first studio guest, that is Michael Tarnott, a witness of the legendary 3-0 defeat against Olympique Lyon in 2001. We will talk about that as well as the current situation. And later on I will welcome Christian Nerlinger, the Director of Sports at Bayern Munich. Michael, we see you nearly every day here at Munich's Sebener Street. I know the reason, but I think many people might not. Tell us a little bit about what you do for Bayern Munich right now. While I was a professional, I always said I'd like to return to Bayern Munich. I'd like to work with the youth, with scouting, and that's what I do. I have an office now in the Sports Academy, or in the Talent Academy here, and together with Mr. Hummels we look at talents from Germany and also countries surrounding Germany. Is it fun? It is fun. I was fairly critical initially. I was very critical about the young players, about the youth, and I was told then you have to pay attention to other things. But it is improving, the situation is getting better and better. It's great fun to work with kids, to take care of these boys, to accompany them. I must say it's really fun and I'm very satisfied. Your own son, I hear, is even more talented than the father. I think my son, yes, is a bigger talent than I was, but you have to be careful. You never know what happens. I always say, if I see a talented boy, I look at him now, and that is the current situation, but you never know what happens when they reach puberty, when they have their first girlfriends and so on and so forth. So you always have to look at the current situation at the moment. You never know what's going to happen. Okay, that's a good attitude. Are you actually planning of working with professional teams later on, or is the talent, is scouting, is that the right thing for you? I can imagine staying in the youth sector for a while. I've noticed that it's so much fun for me to work together with young people, and as I always said, and as I always repeated, I always wanted to do this. I'm really happy right now. It's really fun to do. And of course I want to create something new with Hermann Hummels. Okay, well, let's talk now about the big match tomorrow. Bayern Munich against Olympique Lyon. We asked you for a reason, of course, to come here. You were part of the team 2001 that suffered a legendary defeat, a 3-0 defeat with positive consequences. I know that might be a little hurtful, but we'll have a look at some of these pictures and maybe you can tell us a little bit about what happened in that situation and what the consequences were. The match itself wasn't decisive anymore. You can see Jens Jeremies, Willy Sagnol. That looks like you. Tell us about this match. How motivated were you? What was the situation like? It's always the same. Bayern Munich always wants to win every single game, nationally or internationally. And that's the situation. You have to understand that we had a really bad day and nothing worked for us. The good news is, of course, that the result didn't actually matter. It was at the group stage, the second group stage. You progressed to the next round. The first goal came after 12 minutes. Govou scored it. He is one of 3 players who are still at Lyon. Oliver Kahn had to save that one. As I mentioned, Zeni Govou is one of 3 players who are still at Olympique Lyon. What can you tell us about that goal. You said that Oliver Kahn had to save that one. Let's have a look at the second goal. The second goal was also a beautiful goal, but we'll hear later on what Franz Beckenbauer said. He was not happy with the defense. As I mentioned, we didn't play well. We didn't accept the duels. We didn't fight hard enough. I'm not quite sure actually what the situation was. Did we need points or not? But you can see that we're not even really entering the duels here. We're not actually fighting hard, and Lyon was a good team at the time and really punished us. Lyon isn't the big favourites. Do you think they can be underestimated? I think a lot of people underestimate Lyon, yes. There are no exceptional players at Lyon. Lyon's strength is the team spirit, the team chemistry, and as you know, they won in Madrid. They achieved very good results in the Champions League, not only this season but also in the last years. And I do think that a lot of people underestimate Lyon, but you have to say it's a very good team. Looking at these pictures, did that still hurt, or did it hurt at the time? At the time it did hurt. We always have this banquet at away matches, and Franz Beckenbauer, of course, had this legendary speech, and that hurt, of course. That was painful for us. The whole week was very hard for us because, of course, the media criticized us very harshly, but that's all part of the game. And in hindsight, it makes me laugh because Franz Beckenbauer did everything the right thing, and the consequences were, of course, very good. Well, you've mentioned the speech of Franz Beckenbauer. Let's look at a couple of these statements. They're a legendary speech that really made history in football Germany. You can see Stefan Effenberg, Giovanni Elber. You can see that no one was happy. You can lose matches. The question is how. Today, it was an embarrassment. The way we played came as no surprise. The last weeks and months weren't particularly good. What we're playing right now is nothing to do with football. Lyon played football. What we did, I'm not sure what sport that was. We didn't play physically. We just watched Lyon. That's an old man's sport that we played, the Uwe Seeler traditional team. And we're talking about Lyon, not Real Madrid and Manchester United. The attitude was below par, and our football right now is not adequate. The way we play today is how football was played 30 years ago. In future, you can't do this anymore. Otherwise, we'll all have to find a new job. Nothing that I saw today had anything to do with football. I can only ask you to think about what happened today and change your attitude and game. Franz Beckenbauer was the Bayern president. He was always charming, but he always found very clear words. Was that an important speech? It was important. After the match, we sat down together as a team, and we also agreed this can't go on this way. We knew that, and we promised ourselves, okay, we're going to show you, we're going to show Franz Beckenbauer, we're going to show that we play better football than we did. Luckily, we won the Champions League in that season, and we could take revenge of Franz Beckenbauer. Is that what Franz Beckenbauer wanted to provoke, you think? Well, everything he said was true. He said it had nothing to do with football. He said the attitude was wrong. That's absolutely correct. But of course, when you sit there as a player and you hear this speech, it's not pleasant. But of course, he was right. Is it necessary for someone to put the finger in the wound? Well, Ottmar Hitzfeld did it. Uli Hoeneß did it. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, Franz Beckenbauer. Everyone talked to us at the time. It wasn't only Franz Beckenbauer. Every once in a while, a little bit of a kick in the backside, I think, is good for a football team. As I said, luckily